let's talk for a minute about the heart. I've been thinking a lot about my heart recently, and it just seems to me that in Western culture we have over the years downgraded the heart really to little more than a pump that's circulating blood, and we've made our brains into the place that kind of rule our decision making, our emotional state. We see it all as being up here. This is where the action happens. In Chinese medicine, the heart is referred to as the emperor, the ruler of the kingdom. And it's not just about the kingdom of the physical body, how our well-being is, although that is part of it, but the heart is seen as very much overseeing the state of our whole being, mental, emotional, spiritual, as well as the physical body. And there's a sense that if the whole kingdom is in harmony, then the ruler will be well. But equally, if the ruler is happy, all parts of the kingdom are in alignment. So there's this sense of the heart having this purpose of making sure that our emotional well-being, our physical well-being, our spiritual sense, our thinking, our belief systems are all lined up in a harmonious way that make the running of the whole organism harmonious and happy and full of ease rather than struggle. And it seems to me that there's something quite profound in this. The electromagnetic field of our heart is 5,000 times stronger and can be detected by instruments. 5,000 times stronger than that of the brain. So it has that potential to be a real force of power in our whole being. And one of the things that's always interesting to me when I have to make a decision, or I've got to kind of move forwards with something or decide how I feel about something, there's that whole logical process of mental thinking through, what's the received wisdom on this? Let me read some books about it. Let me talk to my friends. Let me see what my mum and dad say. What's the wisdom on this? Let me make a logical choice about looking to the future and what's going to work out best. My head gets into all of that. And I can go down that route with decision making, or I can sit and tune consciously into my heart and really get a felt sense of what is this loving, all-seeing, harmonious part of me, the ruler of my whole being. What is it basically communicating to me? And, when I drop into that place, there is a stillness. There's a peace, a sense of loving harmony and trust that comes, even if I make a decision that might seem a bit wacky on the outside, but there's that sense of all is well with the whole of me and my world. And that's quite challenging, I think, because quite often that does mean not following the well-trodden path that the mind would take us down. But I just wanted to share with you that in Chinese medicine, the heart meridian, so the energy flow of the heart, runs from here under your arm down this side of the arm, okay, and then across and up to the end of the little finger, the inside of the little finger. And very often when we're having issues, it's on both sides of the body, by the way, both hands down to the inside edge of the little finger. Very often when there's a problem with the flow of heart energy, when we're blocking that because we're afraid or our lives are out of kilter, it's like our belief systems mean that we're not living in harmony with our true passions and our purpose. Very often there's a block in this easy flow of energy, and that shows up in the body as weird things like peculiar pains in the elbow, like stiffness or burning in the joints here, or a sense of the wrists being somehow out of joint, or weakness in the wrists. Or it can even be like a numbness in the fingers, or poor circulation, where the fingers are going white, Raynaud's disease. And sometimes there's that sense that all these things that are going wrong here, or a kind of constriction at the front, across the front of the body here, a hunching and a tightness where we're not able to sit and just open the chest. All of that can be linked to a sense of blocking the flow of heart energy, which is really wanting us to surrender into that felt sense of allowing ourselves to connect with that loving presence, that trust in who I am, being enough, and then being prepared to allow that in surrender to come out of our hands in our interactions with other people, you know, reaching out to our world in that surrendered, loving presence of here I am, and I'm going to connect and allow myself to reach out from my heart into my world and connect.